Hello everyone, it's MoonkinFTW here, back with yet another episode of the RCT3 Coaster Challenge. In this episode we're tackling the turbo bikes, and boy do I have something special for you guys. Because I'm going to build this launched turbo bike coaster, which of course has bicycles, or not, excuse me, not bicycles, motorcycles as trains. But I'm going to make the theming a little special, if I say so myself, because the theming is going to be an actual racetrack. And yeah, that might sound a bit weird how I'm going to do that, but I will show you exactly what I mean. So Beastie's path mods, which is normally used to make curved paths, if you put it black, it looks like tarmac, or like tarmac. And because of the curvature that Beastie's path mods had, you're actually able to make replicate a racetrack with those pieces, which is exactly what we're doing today. And I had this idea, I was like, oh my god, that is such a cool idea, because of course that fits so well with the turbo bikes, because they are, motorcycles, they're racing motorcycles, it's about speed. So if I can replicate a racetrack, that'd be super awesome. It did take me a fair bit of time to make this, because normally I make this for pathing. Now all of a sudden I have to make everything for this roller coaster, and of course it has to resemble a racetrack. Which of course I've never done before. I did one racetrack, but that was the drag strip that I did for the reverse freefall coaster, but of course that's just a straight piece of tarmac. This is much more difficult. But yeah, that's basically how I'm doing it. What I'm doing is just using the free look mode, so vertical mode, which I'm able to very quickly see the space of the roller coaster, where it is, and of course how the pathing of BC's path mods lines up, if you will. And with that, I'm able to actually make a decent racetrack. And another thing, the Shy Guy Planters mod has these edges, so to say, and I'm actually able to make some lines for this racetrack. Now, it would have been really cool if these lines, I would have been able to make them go, white, red, like an actual apex on a racetrack. But unfortunately, I couldn't do that. So I had to stick with one color. But still, I think this looks really, really nice. And I think I actually did, again, I'll leave it up to you guys. You guys can be the final judge or whatever. I think I did a pretty decent job. So what you're seeing here is multiple lines or multiple tracks, which might not make a whole lot of sense, but most racetracks have multiple layouts. So, you can name any sort of track, Suzuka, Laguna Seca, name any spa, any famous racetrack. They usually have smaller sections. Even the Le Mans, that's a racetrack, even has some like multiple sections where it's for track days or something else, for training sessions, which is exactly what I have here too. You have multiple options the track can go to, which is good, because I used a corkscrew to transition from one part to another, but you'll see that as we go along. So of course, another thing I'm going to do is, with these Beasties path mods, you're actually also able to make some pretty nice looking grandstands, which is exactly what you want for a racetrack, at least at the start of the racetrack. You want to have this. And with this add-on called SKHR91, it's a pretty weird one, you're actually once again able to make these really nice looking, what do you call this? Like this roof design, I guess, but it perfectly resembles a grandstand in when it comes to a racetrack, and you'll see that taking shape. So with these three add-ons, BC's Path Mods, Shy Guys Planners, and that SKSHR91, whatever, I can never pronounce it properly, I'm actually able to make one killer racetrack. If I say so myself, again, you guys can be the ultimate judge on that, whether I did it, if I did a good job. So any racetrack, of course, needs to have some fencing at the edge. So let's say a car goes off the track, it just doesn't go into, a ditch, or, it doesn't go into whatever. So, you got to have some fencing for safety reasons, which is why I'm building fences around the track. And not too long afterwards, you'll see me adding sand to the corners, because of course, I can't replicate, there's no tire walls, unfortunately, in RCT3. And there's also not really any sort of proper gravel sections, if you will. But I'm able to add some more detail here. So first of all, get a wall here. So let's say your car spins out, it doesn't land on the opposite section of the track. Of course, that would be very bad. And you can see me here using the dirt texture to kind of replicate these kind of grid not grid, gravel sections where if your car would again fly out of the corner, it would be slowed down by that gravel. So I think I did a pretty decent job. And yeah, we're just gonna go over the supports right now. And yeah, the supports are gonna be all black, including the track, because I want that to blend in with the black tarmac of the racetrack. It's just all about, you know, blending in with that feeling. And yeah, I'm actually, again, I'm going to toot my own horn a little bit and you guys can be the judge, but I think I did a pretty decent job replicating a racetrack. And it's also because I have a decent amount of experience myself doing circuit racing, believe it or not. I've done time attack with multiple, well, I wouldn't call them race cars. I've built them myself, not, you know, more like modified cars. There we go. That's the best way to put it. I did have 2 cars of my own that were built for time attack. One even had a full cage and a racing harness, like racing seats and a 5-point harness and everything. So that was one of my beloved track day cars or time attack cars that I sold a couple of years ago. But basically I have some experience when it comes to track days and racing circuits. And, you know, I'm also a big fan of racing games. So I'm able to tap into my experience here, if you will, and really use that to, you know, to build a nice looking racetrack. One thing that this is kind of missing is a pit section, which would have been nice, but I thought it was good enough for now, because then I had to redesign everything because there's not enough room for a pit section. So that's the only thing that's missing. Admittedly, I didn't do that, but I was like, you know what, it's already good enough. So we're just going over the ride, and of course, like I always do with Moby Steel Jungle, I add flanges, side supports wherever needed. I'm going to add some LIMs here, and of course a catwalk for the final brake section. I'm going to recolor these bikes for a nice like red, white, kind of racing type color scheme. And last but not least, some foliage just to fill up the dead area around the racetrack with some large oaks and some large Douglas firs. And yeah, I think that will be it for the racetrack. And yeah, I just think the concept of this is really, really cool. Again, I'll let you guys be the judge, but I think I did a pretty decent job. You got some, you know, the big grandstands, you got some other stands like on the other sections of the track, that nice looking circuit, and I think the flow of this roller coaster will be really, really nice. But there's only one way to find out, and that is to actually ride this, so let's go ahead and do that. Here we go, into the launch. And just like a bike, you're kind of like really banked, so to say. I wanted to replicate that as well. We go into a corkscrew, because we can't just stick to the ground 24/7 with a roller coaster. It just doesn't really work that well. Nice little turnaround element there. I'm not sure what to call it, like a tilt incline loop, another corkscrew, fast corners, into an overbank turn, and into the brake run. Nice, and you can see that grandstand. Oh man, I really like this design. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this one. I don't know about you guys, but I think this is pretty awesome. You know, imagine this in real life. I mean, that would just be so cool. I mean, the theming is very big for this one. I'm not sure if any park would ever do this, but come on, this is pretty cool, if I say so myself. But again, I'll let you guys decide if this was a decent build for the turbo bikes. And yeah, that's it for this episode. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll be back very soon with another episode. But until then, have yourself a wonderful day.